And now that will bring us to the topic of Kalekye, what do you do on a daily basis? What are your rituals? I mean, for you to get to this level of success, what would you advise the rest of us to do? You know, what are the, say, 10 steps or 5 steps? Or you could do it, number it, word it however you want. But if I wanted to get to your level of success, you know, be it, you know, from a career perspective, from the fact that, you know, maybe we went to school with you together, maybe we lived by you, we're from the same country per se, I mean, whatever, what are the steps?
I think I never look at my life as if there are steps I need to follow. First of all, I never do. I'm more of a, you know what you need to do and what you want to do, and you have to believe that you are going to be able to do it. But the most important thing in my life, and more as I grow older, that I realize is putting God first. Putting God first has been like the most important thing in my life, that I will wake up, sometimes I'll wake up at 2 a.m., at 3 a.m., and that's just my moments with God. It will be like a half hour of just conversations, telling him anything, laughing, and, you know, like I'm having a conversation, and then go back to sleep. And then at about 7 in the morning, I'll be up and take about another half hour of devotion, read the Bible, and pray. And my day is off to a start. Now, given that I live a healthy lifestyle, I've been trying to do different things, and currently I'm on an intermittent fasting kind of lifestyle, which means I don't eat anything until about 12:30 p.m. Between 12:30 and 7:30 p.m. Right. That's the only time I'll eat. So in the morning, I'll wake up, make my herbal tea, get my liter of water in, and, you know, start moving. So because now I'm a consultant, I'm working for myself, running my businesses. I have a second business, which is an events concepts business. So you have, let's say, Atieno wants to do something, and she has this brand, and she wants to make it come alive, has an event idea, but doesn't know how to execute. So we come and give you different concepts, draw it up for you, and we can even execute it for you based on, you know, what are your needs? Do you want to work with us or who else? But you're paying basically for my mind. So I try to use my mind as the tool. That is the gift I have. And so it's either I'm doing projects for that company, and I find that dividing your time and giving each and everything in your life its adequate time is one of the best tips I can give anybody, such that I run a salon, I run this events company, I ran myself as a brand, I have a TV show, and I train in public speaking as well, and I MC. So, you know, there's so many things that I do. So it's a case of saying, so on Mondays I take time to, you know, do the me work, you know, do my accounting, do my everything on my own, and more likely than not, that'll be the day I go to get pampered. I don't do many meetings on a Monday unless it's a really, you know, must thing. Then on Tuesday, I'll be preparing for my talk show, which is about a whole day of sitting down and going through content and questions and everything with my team. Then on the Wednesday, the morning will be a day, 1 or 2 meetings, because I'll be shooting in the afternoon. Believe me, between all this, I have to find an hour to go and get my 50 laps of swimming done. You know?
Oh, wow. Okay.
You have to go and get your exercise done.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you make time for everything. You make time for God, you make time for your exercise, and you make time for your work, but with a systematic plan. You can't do everything in one day. Lots of people ask, all these things going on, when do you get everything done? And I'm like, give everything its day. And on that day, concentrate on that work and conclude that work, and you don't have to touch anything again. At the same time now, I love to sing. I have released 4 songs before, but then I kind of stopped because in Kenya, it's really difficult to make money off music, and you're spending so much producing and doing videos, and there's not much you're getting back. The systems here are still difficult. But I find so much joy now singing in the worship team at church. Because for me, all I want to do is sing. And so if I'm praising the Lord as I sing, there's that. So I still have time that I need to go for worship team practice, and we do it twice a week. You know, I find time for my Bible study. It's just about planning every day. You know, today I'm going to do 3 meetings, and then I'm going to swim, and then I'm going to go for Bible study. Tomorrow I'm going to do a prep day, and then I'm going to go for something else. So I think segmenting my days is what works for me. And actually sometimes taking a full day to myself that's not a weekend and saying I'm not doing it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Proper time management and then allocation. And then I also what I get is just also knowing what it is, like what your goal is for the week, what your goal is in life, and
Yeah.
what what are you trying to achieve? And then once you figure out that, and then you work towards that. I think sometimes people haphazardly just do life. You get
Yeah.
up and you're maybe not sure about today's goal even, or you're not sure about this week's goal. But I love how you break down your days in the week and
Yeah.
then execute in that fashion. So that's pretty beautiful. So guys out there, you hear how she plans her week and her month and her days. So if we're trying to get there, we need to learn how to segment our time and know what's important and then work in that angle. Now,
Yeah.
Kalekye, I will ask you as well, on the flip side, has there
Mm.
been a time, either career-wise or personally, because we're just, tackling both, Kalekye
Yeah.
Mumo the person, Kalekye Mumo the brand,
Yeah.
that you've been at a low point about, where you're headed? Have you ever been confused about, was
Absolutely.
something?
Oh my gosh.
Tell us
I
about
mean,
those moments.
I think there's nobody who can tell you that they're successful or trying to be successful and haven't had moments where you wake up and say, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And and
Okay.
and there's not enough money coming, and why am I not doing enough? And every single day, even now, you'd say I'm doing so much, I feel I'm not doing enough. I
Oh,
feel that
wow.
there are areas in my life that I should be tapping. There's influencing that I should be doing that I'm not doing, and I'm there saying, okay, you need to get this act together, you need to do something. So each and every day I have moments where I'm pushing myself, and then there's that occasional once a week in a month where I'll be like, oh my god, I'm really failing at this thing called life. So I don't think I'd
Oh,
say there's a one time, but it is, for me, it's a consistent thing that comes up, and conversations that I'm having, like, what more could I be doing? What else could I be doing? Have I not placed myself in the right position to be able to give back, to influence, and to change lives? For me, I think even just being on air on radio was changing lives. And there's nothing as great as that feeling. Just knowing that you blow someone a kiss and they're over the moon and it's over the radio.
and they have a good day from there, right?
Yeah. So every other day, there are moments I feel like I should be doing more. I mean, for me, my dream would be to be the biggest talk show host in Kenya.
Oh,
Um,
great, great.
in terms of, why can't there be an Oprah equivalent in terms of level, and Ellen DeGeneres in terms of level in Kenya, that we're
Absolutely.
revered and respected that way. And with the TV show that I'm doing now, I feel more and more that one day we will have the Kalekye Mumo show. I feel more and more that we will have it.
And
So
why not? Absolutely.
why not?
Absolutely.
And so
Yeah.
I take everything I'm doing now as a training ground. It's a training ground for bigger and better. And a lot of
Right.
people say, oh, now you've become old, you're 42, really, can you do it? And I'm like, girl, you don't even know. Until I'm about 90, I'm going to be doing stuff.
Oh, wow. I mean,
Yes.
I'm going to hit back on that perspective where people limit, talent or people based on age. First of all, we are living a lot longer. We are, picking, healthy ways of living. I mean, so with people stating, oh, you are at this age, you're older. No. If there's gonna be a Kalekye Mumo show, absolutely, I don't see why not. And all
Yeah.
these things that you picked up in life over the years, your time in radio, your time on television now, I just believe it's just gonna give us better quality. You've made all the mistakes that could be made. You kind of know. I mean, of course, things are always evolving, but so far you
Right.
have so much behind you that why wouldn't you get better? Why would I stop your career right now when you're just really, really getting very good at it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
also wondering, based on the times that you've had, your dark moments or your low moments, what would you say was the best lesson that you learned in that dark space? And I'm trying to figure out also, how did you feel? One, I'm trying to get there, and then also that feeling, how did it drive you and propel you forward? Because you are still here, that means you're still doing whatever you chose to do, career wise.
Right.
What of
Yeah.
the darkest moments propelled you forward, and how? I would like to learn from that space and that pain.
I think one of the I don't know if I'll call it dark or I'll call it scary. I'll say scary more than anything, was leaving something that you have known and have done every day of your life for 10 years. Walking away
Wow.
from radio was extremely scary. I mean, I remember the next day after I've officially left, still waking up at 4 a.m. and going, Why am I up? Why am I up? Sleep. You wanted to sleep? Sleep. And I couldn't.
You got it, right?
I couldn't do it. And it went on for about a month. I'd keep waking up at 4 a.m. I'm like, come on, man. And I'd sleep late and still wake up at 4 because I'm anxious. Like, this is what my body knows. This is what I know to do. And I went through a phase where I'm like, I'm not talking to my fans directly anymore. Will they forget me? Will they hate me? And there's some people who are hating me because I left. And like, how can you leave us? What are we going to do? I mean, same thing happened when I lost my weight. Oh, my goodness. Because I've always been a plus size ambassador. And that's, I always believe in live in your own skin. Love yourself for yourself and don't let anybody put you down or tell you different. You are how you feel. You're the one who knows. Right. And so when I lost weight, there were people who were like, oh, so you've left us, you've abandoned us. You always said that you like the way you are. And I was like, yeah, but I also said if it affects my health, I'm going to do something. And it was about to affect my health. And so that was also dark, or if you call it, or scary, because now I'm having to fight for something that it doesn't even make sense what I'm fighting for. And then I leave radio, and then I'm getting all these mixed reactions of missment and also hate of why you left us. And it was like, okay, life has to go on. And sometimes it's good to know when your time is done in one place because you're being propelled to the next. Right. That year, that 2016, half of year into 2017 was very difficult because I didn't know for about 6 months how I was going to handle life. So as opposed to take a break, rest, travel, I went hammer looking for work wherever I could. I was just like, I got to be busy, because I felt like I'd lost a huge part of my life. Right. And I didn't know what I was going to do without it. And that was a very scary place that I can now say I'm sleeping until 10 a.m. and I don't care. Never thought I'd sleep there. Never thought I would. Right. Yeah. So just stopping something you've done the same way for so long. Right. And knowing that you don't have it anymore. That's scary. Thinking you lose your fans. And what actually surprised me is that I got even more fans after I left and before I got onto TV. I got a lot more people who were interested to know where I am and what I'm doing in the period where I was off air completely, because I was off air for 6 months before I got onto TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I live in the United States and you live in Kenya, and I'm just curious, is there anything that would propel you to say either one, maybe leave in the United States or just a different country from Kenya, or would you host a show outside of Kenya? Would you host it virtually? Because what I feel is that the Kenyans in Kenya enjoy you, and Kalekye, the brand is so vibrant, but I'm a Kenyan living in the United States. I would like to enjoy you too. I would other than kind of like, oh, what is Kalekye doing? So is there, a possibility of either having a virtual Kalekye Mumo show where we would come in and, get interviewed by you, or would you live in another country? How are you seeing yourself in that light? Because we want to see you, so I'm just fighting for us out here.
You're fighting for you.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
I don't know about living away from Kenya. I think I'm looking forward to coming to the States. I will be coming to the States very soon. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like. And believe me when I tell you, that's one of the countries I've been very afraid of traveling to, because I just think it's just so fast. Everything's happening. There's so much talent. Where would I fit in with my little talent? And there's so many people who are talented.
Girl.
So I think I've been very afraid of whether I would be able to fit in, knowing that I speak very good English. So I'm not coming there as a Wakanda speaking kind of person, which seems to be a thing now. Okay. And I'm like, nah, I speak good English. So I've always felt like, why would I leave and go to stay in a place where the competition becomes 10 times harder? But I think in terms of, if it was a show that is for the Africans who are abroad, that's a whole other ballgame. I wouldn't be fighting to get into, the mainstream where there are already people who are doing what I do, but getting it in a way that it's, who's the market? who are we talking to? Why are we talking to them? But I think I'd more likely than not do it virtually and occasionally do visits and tours around in terms of shows that are specifically targeted for certain states or something like that in certain countries, as opposed to living out there. I know life out there isn't easy. It's not cheap. And I think I'm just spoiled. I mean, I like knowing that I have someone I can hire to help in my house. I have my mom up the road. You know, if the kids come, I have someone to take care of. I think it's more of a fear. And that's why I'm looking forward to seeing what life really is, because you're successful out there. You're living your life. And we have other friends who have families out there and they're making it happen. Is it as difficult as I imagine? Or is it just when you don't have the opportunities lined up for you? So I'm looking forward to finding out what that's like, and then I can make that decision.
Now, in that space, what I'd come back and say, okay, in regards to fear, I'll say that you moved from radio and that transitional moment where you did not know, what was going to happen. And yet, when you look back now and you see yourself,
I'm happy.
Then, right, it worked out. So I would just put the fear the same way. In terms of competition, then I'd say that would also entail you looking at you and your work, because even though you're not out here, we look for you. We get on YouTube and we're like, okay, what did she record today? Right. So from a competitive standpoint, you would compete very fairly. It's just for you to physically come in here and see, where do I fit? But also it would depend on you wanting to fit in, or just carving out your own brand. Where are you even competing? Maybe not, because there's no one like you, and so you're just going to build something of your own and then get that following. Now I wanted to ask, like, if we want to get in touch with you, how do we get in touch with you? What are your handles social media wise? Do we get in touch by email, by phone calls? How do we, and before we get to your handles, I'm going to ask for a 1-minute pitch. What does Kalekye want the world to know about her? And then we'll get to the handles, just in 1 minute. What are your words?
So what do I want the world to know about me? I think I want the world to know that I am a strong and powerful Kenyan woman who would be bringing to you a Kenyan flavor and Kenyan aspects and different things that maybe you don't know, which is what's happening at home vis-a-vis the lifestyle that is happening in your country and things that we're seeing. How can we discuss those things that affect particularly the women out there, and how they transition in going to live in a different country vis-a-vis, if you stay at home, what are you missing? What can you give back? Other than that, I think I would love the opportunity to be able to gain an international platform to be communicating to everybody. And I think just knowing what it is that you want to know, because you see, for me, once I know what people want, that's what I'll go and do, so I'm open to that. And if you want to reach out to me, my handles are at Kalekye Mumo on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook is Kalekye Mumo Public Figure. And if you want to drop me a line, please email me, kalekye@kalekyemumo.com, and I'll be able to just chat back to you. I'd love to know what it is that you would love to check out. And I know Jackie's going to share, different links to work that I have done, and then we can take it from there.
All right, Kalekye, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for the time. We have totally enjoyed you. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.